Welcome to game 2 of the series. Again, Lemon is defending his throne against Sib. Sib is up 1-0 against Lemon. His Soviet sniper play with M3 and guard rifle support proved to be much too strong against Lemon's 3 light vehicle Oster opening. And Soviets and Oster have not been chosen for game 2. Both of them switch over to Western Front armies. Lemon playing as Rifle Company, Sib playing as Upper Commando West. OKW received basically nothing but nerfs except for to the infantry support gun, I think, this patch, so they can prove a lot more difficult than pre-patch OKW. Let's see if Sib can make them work. Going with the Kubelwagen opening and heading straight for Lemon's cutoff. SWS kind of hanging out in this general area too. He might be considering trying to push with that truck, but truck pushing is very dangerous now. A very delicate thing to attempt. Kubelwagen immediately locates some riflemen and begins forcing that retreat. Rear echelon troops are already working on the right side fuel. And these Stern Pioneers are going to attempt to wire off the center VP while the Kubelwagen is keeping those riflemen occupied. This squad crawls away to safety. This one will probably get suppressed in its place. Lemon simply avoiding the Kubelwagen for now, trying to capture territory. He's gonna have to deal with some slightly damaged squads when he first walks into an engagement, but other than that, that Kubelwagen isn't doing too much to hurt his map control. Vet Rifleman, Lemon gets a really good roll, starts with Vet 2 Rifleman right there, right off the bat. If he can get in range of the Kubelwagen, he will of course be able to damage its engine with an anti-tank rifle grenade. Sib probably knows that Lemon has chosen Rifle Company if he's been watching the rest of the tournament, which I think he has, since he's been picking that immediately after the game starts, every series. So, gonna see the first real engagement now. Kubelwagen is nicely positioned for this. No suppression on the first burst. Those riflemen just walked into red cover. Immediately get suppressed. This squad of riflemen wants to try and get in range for the rifle grenade, but they cannot utilize this approach because of the reinforced wire barricade. They're going to get suppressed. No chance of them getting in range. Here's the truck push. This is an attempt by Sib to utilize truck pushing here. But as you can see, I mean, he just did one tiny little push on those rear echelon troops and really nothing else. I'm not even sure that contributed much, although it did tank a lot of damage for the infantry. That is something to keep in mind. They were all shooting at the truck instead of at those infantry, so it made just a tiny little difference in the game, but not anything so egregious or annoying where truck pushing is still like considered abusive by any means. Just kind of a little, give him a tiny little boost in this engagement, if that, and at significant risk. If Sib had decided to ghost a tank trap on that truck, for a pretty good chance it would have been taken out, honestly. Over here on the left side, a fresh squad of Volksgrenadiers is making its way to try and take control of the fuel over here. Another fresh squad of Volksgrenadiers going to make its way forward, try and get some territory over there, perhaps, or maybe just supporting this engagement. Despite the fact that Sib is engaging pretty efficiently, he's not really making any forward progress either. Lemon holds all territory here on the right side. He's now working on the left. He's got a fighting position here to counter the Kubel if it gets too aggressive over here towards the right. Riflemen are set up in cover, and with the rifle grenades from the fighting position, Sib will not be able to utilize any cover or hold still for an engagement on the left side, so he has to continue to simply utilize this green cover and just hold the line. He doesn't even actually hold this munitions point. Looks like he's going to try and capture that just by standing right there on the edge of the capture circle. Volksgrenadiers engaging at long range should be fine. Kubelwagen should be able to engage those riflemen as well. Over here on the left side, 3 squads of riflemen in the retreat path of that Volksgrenadier squad. I don't think that's going to get home if it doesn't retreat right now. That was a late retreat. Kubelwagen has moved to support, but those riflemen are going to round the corner. The Volksgrenadiers will be forced to retreat across this red cover road with 3 squads of rifles shooting at them. It looks like Lemon has pulled back though, so they will be able to get away, not wanting to get suppressed by the Kubel. Stern Pioneers also move to support. So nice save by Sib on that Volksgrenadier squad as they retreat. Lemon is not able to capitalize on that. The rifle squad on the right side does have to retreat from Volksgrenadiers over here. Gets away with just a sliver remaining. And they'll have to reinforce. Volksgrenadiers here. Nice play by Sib, cutting off Lemon's fuel on the right. Be able to get that under control.
MG-34 heavy machine guns are now available.
And Lemon squads are going to take full control of the left side. This reinforced squad of riflemen is going to work the cutoff. The Kuba wagon is not moving to either engagement, just kind of hovering here on the river for now. Folks Grenadiers moving around to go straight for the fuel. Maybe they are behind its fighting position. Lemon has not upgraded it with an MG42 this time, and we will see Mechanized Regiment headquarters from Sib this game, not Tier 2. Might be thinking of a flak half-track, might be thinking of a Puma. His fuel income is really suffering this game. He hasn't had a fuel point, I don't think, for the entire game at all. So his first Tier 3 unit's going to be a little bit on the late side. And since his opponent is Rifle Company, it's highly likely he's going to be up against Captain Tier. And of course, there it is. Captain is on the field from Lemon, so flak half-track may struggle a little bit. He has chosen a commander though. Fortifications Doctrine always has been strong. Probably still very strong this patch. He's fielded one MG34 to give him some more suppression on the units trying to cross the river, and he's going to try and set up a fortified front over here on the left side. MG34 and Kuba wagon available to support. Kuba wagon, or no, fighting position over here on the right side should be able to push away that squad of Folks Grenadiers, Captain support. Panzerschreck squad is moving up to try and destroy that thing. It's already falling a little low, but riflemen are moving up to screen. Kuba wagon has repositioned over here to the right side, however, suppresses those riflemen, and the Folks Grenadiers will move back into close range to destroy this. One more shot from that Panzerschreck and it will be destroyed. MG34, fresh MG34 moving up on the right side. Will assist in the engagement against those riflemen. Kuba wagon still available here to suppress this blob trying to cross the river. They can't really safely do so. Kuba wagon has switched targets. MG34 packing up to move to support in this engagement. Meanwhile, the left side completely falling into Sib's control. And it looks like Lemon is about to lose control of both the left and right side of this map. Has not retreated though, simply soft retreating back to safety. Nice flank by the captain. He wants to make something happen against the Kuba wagon. Might be successful depending on exactly how things work out here. Kuba can't rotate around to fire on this captain while he's trying to keep this blob suppressed, but it will break through. The MG34 being forced to pack up by the captain is also a serious problem. Rifleman getting into close range on the Folks Grenadiers right there will force the retreat. Fortunately, the Kuba wagon is pulled well back to safety. Another squad of Folks Grenadiers moves up to assist in the engagement. Flak half-track also on the field, available to assist in this engagement, but the captain just took building control. One bazooka connects with the flak half-track there. Rifleman moving to try and damage its engine. Nice grenade dodge right there. The grenade going into that building did not quite connect. Flak half-track moving to try and set up. MG34 suppresses this whole blob. Oh, and the rifle squad there at short range just gets wiped. A little bit late on the retreat there by Lemon on that wounded rifle squad. Lemon has made a pretty aggressive push over here, but he just isn't able to make it work against that flak half-track. Getting very aggressive here, though. What is this maneuver? Whoa, Stewart on the field as well. Goes with the shell shock on the Kuba wagon so that it won't be able to get away. It's stunned. That's a dead Kuba wagon. Main gun destroyed. Doesn't matter. Just a matter of time. There it goes. The flak half-track also has to pull back to safety. The captain is taking too much damage and will retreat. These two rifle squads getting aggressive against these Folks Grenadiers will probably be able to force a retreat. Sib making a nice cutoff maneuver in the midst of this engagement. Sends that Folks Grenadier squad right for the cutoff. The MG34 here on the left side will continue to defend. Should Lemon make an aggressive maneuver over there. Captain gets wiped on retreat as he crosses red cover by those Folks Grenadiers. Nice play by Sib right there, catching that captain on retreat. That's 2 squad wipes in his favor. Lemon is now a little bit on the back foot, but he still has 4 squads of riflemen at his disposal, and he has just enough munitions to upgrade all of them with flamethrowers. He also gets a squad wipe in return right there on those aggressive Folks Grenadiers, so equalizes things a little bit. Picks his bazooka back up, so he still has 1 bazooka at his disposal in addition to the Stewart. Oh man, if he catches that building with that Stuart, that could be devastating. He just needs to move his Stuart to counter the flak half-track. There is a Rakettenwerfer available to screen against its advance. I don't think Lemon caught that building. And it looks like he's actually going to pull back and try and get some territory under his control on the left rather than continuing to aggressively push this corner. Two squads of riflemen working on the center victory point, and the bazooka is also going to destroy that wire. Nice play by Lemon to open up that avenue for his squads. Stuart's pulling back for repairs over here on the munitions point, I think. MG34 still protecting the victory point. It was actually positioned a little more aggressively here, protecting the munitions, but it pulled back, I think, in response to that Stuart hovering in the general area. Oh, those squads are clumped. Nice positioning on that flak half-track. Forces an immediate retreat. Ouch. Picked up 5 kills right there. Armor-piercing rounds aren't going to do that much to that Stuart. It's trying to go for the squad wipe on that MG34, but it's got to pull back away from that Panzerschreck. It's not a safe engagement. The 2 flamethrower squads moving up here might get suppressed by the armor-piercing rounds, but Sib decides to retreat immediately to preserve that Vet 2 squad. Doesn't want to lose that machine gun to a lucky flamethrower crit. Although with armor-piercing rounds equipped, I think he probably could have suppressed both of those before they closed the gap. Either way, Lemon is now going to take control of the left side cutoff. The left side MG34 is moving to counter. If Lemon splits his squad soon enough, he may be able to overwhelm that position. One squad suppressed. This squad has taken control of the point, or at least decaptured it for now. He's in red cover against these Sturmpyos in yellow. He's taking heavy damage. Lemon will move out of the red cover position and turn to fire on them again. No lucky crits, and he's falling dangerously low. He will be forced to retreat. The Vet 2, ooh, lucky shot from the Sturms, and there goes his flamethrower. Stuart making its way across the left side to assist here. The Rakettenwerfer is still positioned on the right side to protect the flak half-track, which catches a fresh captain as well. Gets a nice flak burst on him and forces an immediate retreat. 2 squads of riflemen working the right side will force retreats from everything over here, and the flak half-track will be left vulnerable as a result, but the Stuart is not available to engage. At low health from Panzerschreck fire on the left side, it'll be forced to pull back for repairs and can't do anything meaningful against that flak half-track until it does so. Panzerschreck squad will take control of this strategic point once they give up the chase against that Stuart. Rear echelon troops taking control of the left side fuel point should also be able to get strategic point under control. These 2 squads of riflemen aren't going to be able to make anything happen against that flak half-track with just 1 bazooka, I don't think. 1 squad already suppressed. Going to switch targets soon. Bazooka connects. Anti-tank rifle grenade connects. Flak half-track knows that it's won this engagement, though it's not even moving. Pop smoke just to be safe. No suppressed riflemen. Actually, they get 1 more bazooka shot through the smoke. Oh, the Panzerschreck just wiped them. Wow, that was ridiculous. Unbelievable. Panzerschreck wipes out 2 riflemen in 1 shot. Oh, jeez. Stuart has been repaired, making his way across the left side. That is now, I think, 2 squad wipes for Lemon. My count is correct. A captain, or no, that's 3 squad wipes. A captain and 2 riflemen. So, lots of squad wipes there for Lemon. Only 1 Volksgrenadier squad wiped in return, I think, if my count is correct. So Lemon falling a little bit behind for manpower. MG34 will be forced to retreat over there. And the Vet 1 flak half-track is moving. Ooh, getting a little aggressive. What is that maneuver? He realizes his mistake immediately and pops smoke. Either that was a misplay or he was intentionally getting aggressive just to deploy smoke right there. But I guess I don't know why he would do that. Either way, the engagement is won thanks to good placement of that MG34. And Volksgrenadiers are taking control of the right side fuel, and Lemon's really good map control this game is finally wavering a little bit because of some of those early squad wipes. Flamethrower Riflemen should be able to win against these Volksgrenadiers, though. Until that flak half-track arrives to support, that is. That Stuart is perfectly timed here. He's going to activate Shell Shock. He's going for it. Uses attack ground and gets Cruise Shock. Kettenwerfer is available to support, but there's a hedge in the way. Ooh, nasty shot right there. He might go for the squad wipe instead. No, there it is. Nice. Lucky break for Lemon right there. He moved that up to counter the flak half-track and got a free squad wipe against some Shreks instead. Pretty good value on that Stuart. Took out a Koopa Wagon and some Panzerschreck Volksgrenadiers so far. Bazookas connecting. White Phosphorus being deployed, but heavy damage from the flak burst. He's trying to move up to finish the job. It's not going to happen. That being said, Stuart's about to be fully repaired. That thing is heavily damaged. He's pulling all the way back into the base just to be safe. If the Rakettenwerfer sets up, he can probably make sure that Stuart doesn't do anything too bad, but the Stuart will catch an SWS out of position. Armor-piercing rounds do a minor amount of damage to this thing. Ooh, nice mine though, nice mine. I think we might see the Stuart go down just to armor-piercing rounds. Stuart is just going to sit there trying to destroy the SWS. I didn't even see that shoe mine. Beautiful placement. And although his tech will be delayed, he'll get a little free fuel from both of these vehicle wrecks. And he's already got Tier 2 and Tier 3 might go Jagdpanzer. He might just wait for Tier 4 again. I'm not sure what his plan is, but that's going to be 10 fuel for both of those. Which is good because he's a little behind in the fuel game. He needs to get the right and left side fuel points back under his control. He's got good victory point management though. He's about 100 victory points behind, but he's about to take 2 victory points. Should be okay. Flak half-track still alive, and the biggest threat to it has been taken out, which is the Stuart, but an even bigger threat is just now hitting the field. Lemon's map control is so good. Even when kind of losing engagements a little bit, just really strong, aggressive map control, holding the fuel points really nicely. This Sherman is going to be a serious problem for Sid to try and deal with. I don't know if any more mines have hit the field. Lemon has no minesweeper though. Flak half-track moving up immediately has to pop smoke when he sees that Sherman coming, and he blocks his own Rakettenwerfer's ability to fire on the Sherman with that smoke, unfortunately. But the Sherman is not going to get aggressive and dive. He's instead going to work on these infantry. He's prioritizing map control over winning engagements. This is so clear. He'd rather send that Sherman to push away these Volksgrenadiers from the right side than use it to try and aggressively dive the base and work on that flag half-track. Meanwhile, over here on the left side, Captain will have to contend with the Volksgrenadiers. I don't know who will win that. It'll honestly come down to who gets a lucky snipe with an anti-tank weapon first.
Mission accomplished.
Rear echelons making their way across the left side as well. There it is, he gets the lucky snipe with the bazooka right off the bat. Thompson model is still alive. He is winning that engagement for now. Thompson takes out another squad member. Thompson model dies. Now it's just bazookas versus Shreks who will retreat first. Rear echelon troops moving to support. There is a Jagdpanzer on the field now. Sid will have a very powerful weapon at his disposal to take that Sherman down if it gets exposed in the wrong position. 2 flamethrower squads making their way down the center are going to spot that Jagdpanzer, so the Sherman is aware of its existence for now. Volksgrenadiers moving up into green cover to assist, and the left side fuel is falling to these rear echelon troops. Captain taking control of that cutoff as well. These 2 riflemen move into close range on these Volksgrenadiers. There is an MG in the general vicinity to assist. That's a late retreat. He's going to round that corner, I think. Barely. MG34 sets up on this avenue. Won't be able to get a line because of that hedge. Rifleman disengaging to a safer location. The Sherman is playing very safe, not wanting to engage where that Jagdpanzer can get a line on it, and 2 squads of riflemen are moving to push away the stern piles over here on the right side. Still no minesweeper from Lemon, but I don't think any further shoe mines have been planted for now. A lot of munitions being spent on Panzerschrecks instead.
My half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
These 2 squads will retreat away from the center. Jagdpanzer lands 1 shot on the Sherman, which has to pull back to a more safe location. Gets 2 shots on it. Sherman gets a huge hit on that Volksgrenadier squad. There's a mine right there. Sherman pulls back for repairs. Jagdpanzer will not chase. These two squads will maintain control of the right side. Lemon setting up that triple cap. Still has huge fuel control. I don't know if he's going to go for an Easy 8 next. An Easy 8 would be a nice thing to have against that Jagdpanzer for sure. He might also consider Jackson. He might also consider second Sherman. Lots of options available to him to counter what he's currently contending against. Grenade toss. Doesn't do that much damage. That wasn't that bad. Captain should be able to get away. Although he is retreating through two squads of Volksgrenadiers. Or no, one squad. Right there. Mine might wipe him. Ooh, what? That mine didn't even do damage. That captain just stepped on that mine and did nothing. Took no damage at all. Sherman moves up to engage these Volksgrenadiers. The Jagdpanzer moving to counter. He's a little exposed. One shot could do it. What is that Sherman doing? There it goes. Sherman destroyed. Exposed himself for far too long. Sherman goes down. Jackson being queued up next, and a flamethrower just burst over here on the right side. Sib taking engagements everywhere. I think we might finally see him take control of some fuel here. Sherman wiped. Rifles wiped. Stern Pioneers taking control of the right side fuel. Volksgrenadiers moving to take control of the left side. Victory points first, fuel points next, and the triple cap is about to get set up against Lemon. These two squads are working to contest the center. They will be fired upon by an MG-34 right there. Jagdpanzer could fire on this cover. Destroys that green cover. Those riflemen will be a little more vulnerable. Anti-tank gun. Nice! Nice positioning on the anti-tank gun by Lemon. He finally cleans that thing up. Two shots connect and the AA half-track is destroyed. Beautiful timing and placement on the attack ground through the smoke right there. Very nicely placed shot. Riflemen continue to hold the center VP. Jagdpanzer is reversing towards the captain and AT gun. What is it doing? That was a weird little maneuver. Okay. Stern Pios catch these rear echelons over here on the right side. They're going to be forced to retreat. Riflemen retreating over here as well. Volksgrenadiers may have an opening to take control of the center VP. Jackson and AT gun available to push away that Jagdpanzer should it expose itself too aggressively. Volksgrenadiers are going to screen that anti-tank gun though. It is, I think, currently utilizing take aim. No. Jagdpanzer needs to be careful against that Jackson though. Riflemen are moving up to provide vision. Over here the captain will grab the victory point. Left side fuel falling back into Lemon's control, forcing away that Panzerschreck squad. Flamethrower about to force this retreat. We see 4 Panzerschrecks upgraded for Sib currently. So he has a pretty decent arsenal with which to deal with that lone Jackson. Flamethrowers will be a significant threat to these Volksgrenadier squads, which don't have a whole lot of veterancy right now, except for this one. Riflemen winning this engagement, Captain and Riflemen winning this engagement. All of Sib's infantry will retreat from the left side. Tier 4 structure going up here on the right. Mines continue to be planted by Sib, who has outfitted all of his Volksgrenadiers with Panzerschrecks, so he does not need munitions for any Panzerschrecks at this time. He can afford to spend that on mines or grenades, keeping his munitions count nice and low. Doing a good job of using those efficiently with mines. I really like the mine that took out that Stewart. I really liked the mine that should have wiped that captain. Unfortunately, Relic decided that captain should get away this time. Quentin Duffy said no. Every battle tells a story, and this battle tells the story of how that captain stepped on a mine and survived. With no health remaining. Clumped. Jackson moves up to take the shot. Big hit from the Jackson right there. Jagdpanzer needs to pull back. Ooh, Jackson also needs to pull back. Neither one of them will continue to engage. Both pull back for repairs just to be safe. Lemon is going to field a Scott, not wanting to try and engage up close and personal with the Sherman. He's going to get that Scott instead. Scott's been nerfed against OKW trucks this patch. Deals a little bit less damage. Takes a long time to siege those trucks down now. Grenade toss doesn't do a whole lot right there. Rear echelon's blocking so that the Thompson can get a lot of damage done at close range. Gets an extra model loss. Folks Grenadiers do get away fine though. Scott on the field threatens that Folks Grenadier squad a little bit. Hasn't fired yet though. It's holding fire. I didn't even know a Scott could hold fire. Has that always been the case? I guess so. I had no idea a Scott could do that. I don't know why he would hold fire though. White Phosphorus being deployed on that MG34. Jagdpanzer moving up to engage here. I feel like that Scott should reactivate its gun. I've never seen this before. Is that normal? I hope that Scott's not like bugged to be permanently holding fire or something. I don't remember this being a thing Scots can do. That's really weird.
Light tank ready to deploy. Field promotion.
Well, whatever. He deactivates. I guess it's always had that. I've just never seen anybody actually click that button for any reason. Scott will start bombarding those Folks Grenadiers. It's supposed to be a little bit more... Oh man, that is such a tight clump. That is asking to get nailed by that Scott so hard. I don't know why the Scott is firing at the Jagdpanzer instead of that glorious clump of Folks Grenadiers. Look at that hit. They're going to retreat away from that Scott, not wanting to take huge damage. Panzer II on the field. Whoa! As soon as it moves to engage, that was a weird build decision. Clearly does not pay off. Immediately destroyed by anti-tank gun, bazooka, and Jackson fire. Will provide a smoke screen as well for these riflemen to advance and take control of the center victory point. The Scott has not even taken a scratch from that Jagdpanzer, which misses all of its shots. The MG34 is moving to set up in green cover here to try and screen against an advance by this blob of infantry. We will note that the captain has access to on me right now. If he chooses to utilize that to break suppression, this position will easily be overwhelmed. Not to mention, flanking squad of riflemen right there will force the retreat from that MG34. It's a Vet 4 team weapon though. Nice, powerful team weapon to have at his disposal. Jagdpanzer pulling back, trying to play it safe against these advancing infantry. Flamethrowers threatening to do a lot to this clump of Folks Grenadiers. Two squads of riflemen have to retreat to small arms fire. The Scott has moved up to engage. Gets a nice hit on that squad, taking out two more models. Falling low in red cover. That shot went long, unfortunately. These two squads need to retreat back to safety. Scott bombarding. Doesn't quite hit anything. Man, I'm having trouble giving the play-by-play on this game. It is just intense engagements, action-packed for the last 15 minutes. They're just turning up the heat big time. And all engagements seem to be clustered in one location on the map. Both of them only the smallest of attempts at harassment by Sib here. Lemon not making any attempts at harassment, continues to engage fiercely. Scott gets caught out of position by this Folks Grenadier squad and needs to pull back to safety. Repair a little bit there in the back. The Jackson takes a little bit of damage. It doesn't want to do anything too aggressive, and the Jagdpanzer is brought down to half. The Jackson penetration buff seems to make it a pretty reliable damage source against the Jagdpanzer, even though they're both tank destroyers. Jagdpanzer has a little bit more armor on the front. I don't know what the armor of the Jagd is compared to Jackson penetration value, so I don't know what the percent chance is there. But so far this game, it's performing quite nicely. I think that Jackson's going to be hitting Vet 1 this game, giving it access to armor-piercing rounds. Another big push by Lemon's riflemen here. Stern Pioneer squad taking heavy damage at close range. MG34 nicely placed there for this push, but White Phosphorus is going to force another retreat. Oh! One of those shells just nailed that Folks Grenadier squad right on their head. Took out one Folks Grenadier model, but He gets away with just a tiny sliver remaining. Captain forced retreat here on the left side. These two squads continue to harass and take territory. Lemon is struggling to maintain a victory point advantage. Because he can't apply much pressure over here to the right side, he's not going to be able to get his opponent triple capped without destroying this tier 4 structure. With a second Scot now on the field, some of Sib's team weapons and blobbed up infantry may suffer. It's going to be on the Jagdpanzer to try and take some of these Scots out. A Vet 5 MG34 is a serious problem for Lemon's infantry to contend with. Oh no! Ooh, that grenade! Lemon noticed that happening at the same time I did, I think. 1 millisecond too late. And there goes that squad. Jagdpanzer catches a Scot. Nice pickups by Sib in the last 20 seconds, taking out a rifle squad and an M8A1. Both going down. Sib should be able to take control of the center victory point and left side and get a triple cap going against Lemon again. Lemon's about to re-engage here in the middle. Captain putting pressure on the Raketenwerfer to open up a little bit of space for the Scot. Scot is endangering itself. Grenade clears it out. Scot shot way off target. They are asking for it though. Look how clumped they are. Spread out just in time. Scot shots also continuing to be off target. I still don't find the Scot to be all that consistent. Even though it has a bigger AoE, its accuracy is still kind of erratic. It seems to perform largely the same as it did before. Riflemen getting suppressed, they'll be forced to retreat. Scot and Jackson trying to put pressure on that Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer is now Vet 2. It is outpacing the Jackson for veterancy, which makes it a pretty significant threat. But the anti-tank gun here is certainly performing a lot better than any of Sib's Raketenwerfers. I feel that this might be a good time for Lemon to make a play against the tier 4 structure. He has a vetted anti-tank gun to provide vision of the tier 4 structure. The defense over there seems to be quite light. With a Scot, Jackson, and AT gun, he could take it out very quickly. Scot might go down to Jagdpanzer fire. Pulls back just in time though. Anti-tank gun shots connecting nicely with that Jagdpanzer, bringing it low. Captain continues to provide vision for the Scot, but it's slightly out of range. Jackson is about to get recrewed. Scot is decrewed. All these vetted Volksgrenadiers are going to prove too much for Lemon to chew through. Grenade will force one retreat. The triple cap against Lemon continues, and he's having trouble getting territory under his control. Both of these squads, no, this squad has had its flamethrower popped and cannot upgrade a new one because that's a bug that they have still not fixed. This rifle squad can upgrade with the flamethrower, but they haven't yet. Right there, so might consider doing that, but he's spending a lot of munitions on white phosphorus and losing map control. He doesn't have that much munitions to spare. Jackson is going to move to siege the tier 4 structure on the right side with Scot support, but not any AT gun support here. It's going to leave the center a little bit weak. If those Obers decide to make an aggressive push, they might decrew that AT gun, which would be a painful loss for Lemon, but the Jagdpanzer's on its way to support here. It's already down to half. Jagdpanzer and Raketenwerfer shots will force a retreat from Lemon. Like I said, with AT gun support, he almost certainly would have destroyed that. I feel like if he had fully committed to that push, that thing was, I mean, a Raketenwerfer and Jagdpanzer can't not screen away an AT gun. Meanwhile, Lemon's infantry will push hard for the center. Jagdpanzer is sitting here, screening against an advance by these vehicles. Scot and Jackson both pulling back for repairs. Lemon has 150 fuel in the bank, might consider getting another vehicle soon. All of his attempts at taking control of the center are failing, walking head first into Sternpios and Obersoldaten. Left side is being taken by rear echelon troops. Volksgrenadiers available in the area to counter. And that Scot is continuing to pound away. It just has not made much of an impact this game. Only 3 kills. Not getting any miracle hits. In fact, a lot of shots are just wildly off target. I don't even know what it's shooting at. Vet 3 on those rear echelon troops, but their accuracy buff goes to waste since Panzerschreck shot just sniped 2 of them. So getting some really nasty Panzerschreck hits against infantry this game. 3 squads of riflemen moving to harass on the left side. The left side has extremely light defenses, only harassment by lone squads of Volksgrenadiers. Lemon will not bash his head against Sib's defense over here any further. He's going to play for map control now. Captain and 3 squads of riflemen threatens to wipe that squad. Late retreat. Late retreat. I don't know. Nope.
Americans have 200 points remaining.
No surviving that. Nice pickup by Lemon. Needs to repair his ambulance. Still repairing his Jackson. Getting some territory under control. Slowing the triple cap. Victory points dead even. Lemon needs to find an opportunity against the tier 4 structure. Sib has not found an opportunity to repair that. Continuing to utilize the Stern Pioneers to engage rather than repair, which means that that will be very vulnerable to a wide flank or even indirect fire from the Scott from behind the forest. Scott is deploying smoke in front of the Jagdpanzer and machine gun to screen for his rifleman there. The Jackson still decrewed in the back. He's not even going to try to engage with that for now. He's just queued up a second Scott. He wants to keep the indirect fire going against Sib's infantry if at all possible. Jagdpanzer wants to fire on the Scott, but doesn't want to expose itself to that AT gun right there. Jackson is now Vet 2, by the way, moves up to assist against that Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer and Jackson's both missing their shots. AT gun providing vision against that Jagd. Means that it cannot get too aggressive, can't get too close. Volksgrenadiers are gambling a little bit here. Big push by Sib's infantry. All shots missing. Scott pulling back to safety. Ambulance is gonna go down. There it goes. Never did repair that thing. Lets it get destroyed. Jagdpanzer decides to make an aggressive push, but it's taking heavy damage. Heavy damage right there. Scott pulling back. This clump of Volksgrenadiers walking right into riflemen. There was a pretty big hit. I don't know, that didn't do that much damage, honestly. That damage nerf to the Scott almost makes the bigger AoE seem less impressive than before. Then really it doesn't. It seems like it was basically just a nerf. Scott's really not that impressive. I feel like that hit would have done more damage pre-patch. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's subtle. It's a subtle change. Flamethrower pops right there. Everything's going to be forced to retreat. This AT gun is Vet 3. He really should make sure to preserve that. LMG, Obersoldaten Plus, Vet 4 Stern Pioneers are a serious threat. Fresh Scott on the field, makes its way to the front lines, may be able to screen away those Sturms right there. Plus the Jackson is receiving repairs somewhere. No, yeah, there it is. Recrewed right there in the base. Lemon needs to continue moving that captain across the left side. He's got to keep that moving. Try and get that territory under control. You can tell that his micro and his nerves getting a little bit afraid here. It's a 40-minute game with non-stop action. It's impossible to keep your micro tight that long. Just take a bit of a mental break. Meanwhile, Sib setting up defense here in the center with this Rakettenwerfer. Vet 5 on so many squads. Look at this army. He's gonna need to get some nasty hits with his Scots if he's gonna crack this defense open. He's barraging that Rakettenwerfer hard. That's gonna get cleared. With 2 Scots, you can saturate an area much more effectively. Jagdpanzer takes a shot, but it misses. AT gun firing on that Jagdpanzer as well, bringing it quite low. There's a main gun destroyed crit. Look at that. And beautiful flank by Sib. And the Jagdpanzer goes down to the anti-tank gun and Vet 2 Jackson shot right there. Beautiful flank by Sib on the Scott, but it doesn't work because of a main gun destroyed crit. Fortunately, he picks up the Vet 2 Jackson, but it's too late to save his Jagdpanzer, and he almost loses that Vet 4 Volksgrenadier squad too, but fortunately the Vet 5 machine gun is able to suppress that whole blob. So that squad of Volksgrenadiers does make it away alive. Lemon is going to retreat away. Interesting trade. Jagdpanzer for Jackson. I feel like that's more expensive for Sib. Replacing the Jagdpanzer, very expensive. But that being said, he's had really good map control for a long time. He's up to 350 fuel. He's got all 3 tech structures. We might be looking at King Tiger next, but it might struggle a little bit against a Jackson on this map. And there's no longer a Vet 3 AT gun on the field. That has been cleared out by the vetted Stern Pioneers right there. Nice play by Sib to clean that up. That's going to significantly weaken Lemon's anti-tank. Losing the Vet 2 Jackson, losing the Vet 3 AT gunning. Worked for a really long time to have those vetted anti-tank weapons. He's now going to be forced to contend with what looks like a King Tiger. With 2 Scots, a fresh Jackson, and a fresh recruit AT gun. Scots so far failing to inflict any significant damage. But they are vetting up, they are getting stronger. They are a significant problem that needs to be dealt with, and this Tier 4 structure, by the way, still has not been repaired. If those Scots move up to bombard it from behind these trees, we might see it destroyed. Like I said before, they have been nerfed against the OKW structure, and it takes them longer to siege it. But with 2 of them on the field, they shouldn't have any real problem destroying that. The Jackson's moving up to take a shot, but it's not really, honestly, even necessary. And I think that's that structure destroyed. Boom, there it goes. Nice pickup. No more Obersoldaten will be produced this game. The Königstiger, however, is in production. Oh, and that Rakettenwerfer almost destroyed a Jackson right there that exposed itself needlessly. I wonder if Lemon is wishing he did that a long time ago. I don't know. Either way, Lemon needs to work the victory points much harder. Really struggling. He's double capped, struggling to get the left side under control with Volksgrenadiers firing at his captain. He needs to move those Scots all over the map. Needs to keep the pressure up on his opponent's infantry. Try and get those squads wiped, cleaned up, forced off the field, retreat, anything. Get those victory points under control. Ooh, that mine just wiped a major, but it also wiped a Rakettenwerfer. Scots get caught out of position. They will pop smoke. They're both Vet 1 and both have access to smoke. Oh, out of control. And that Scot is destroyed. There's a miracle wipe, though. Nice pickup by that Scot, finally. Vet 2 Scot takes out those Volksgrenadiers. Another squad moving up to put a little more pressure on them. Taking quite a bit of damage on that squad. That'll retreat. The Jackson desperately needs repairs. Riflemen forced off the right side. Victory point by Sturms. Jackson will be forced back for repairs off the field for quite a while a full health King Tiger makes its way to the front lines. Double cap is still ticking against Lemon, who is 200 victory points behind. Only 25 left in the bank. He's going to need to make some miraculous plays to get this game back under his control. Rakettenwerfer recovered on the right side. Mine almost wipes the captain. Obersoldaten needs to switch targets and finish the job, but he will get away, just barely. They had to dodge a grenade from those riflemen, but the riflemen will also be forced to retreat. Jackson moves up to fire on the King Tiger. Takes a big hit from that Rakettenwerfer, though. 1 hit from death. Jackson missing all of its shots against the KT, and white phosphorus is being deployed to shut down that King Tiger's ability to fire. On Lemon's infantry formations, the right side victory point will fall to the stolen Rakettenwerfer, but the left side is being taken by this Volksgrenadier squad, and one Scot is just not enough to deal with all of this Vet 5 infantry. Beautiful hit right there, will force the retreat from that squad. Volksgrenadiers. Flanking squad is going to deal significant damage. That is a Vet 3 Scot. You don't see that very frequently, especially not in 1v1. Nice big hit right there by the Scot. That's a seriously powerful weapon, but it's too late for it to make a meaningful impact. Lemon is triple capped. He cannot take control of a victory point anywhere on this battlefield. And that's GG. After a 45-minute slugfest on Crossing in the Woods, Sib takes game 2, and he is the new Star-Crossed King. Good game. Axis wins.